everyone, welcome to this update video. I trust and hope you're doing amazing this morning, and we're going to be talking about these three highlighted areas, one in yellow, one in orange, and one in code red. This is going to be the main talk of the video because there's a high chance of seeing development, and models they are pretty consistent about development. That's number one. Number two, we are seeing some new trends in regards to where along the Gulf Coast could see impacts, even though nothing is solid right now. But we're gonna get straight into the necessary details. So as for that area of there highlighted in yellow, that is given a pretty low chance of development, and even if we manage to even see something from it, I mean, that is going to be something that's not a bother for anyone. So that's the good news there. Another tropical wave going to be coming off of Africa, and once it emerges, it should move into some favorable environmental conditions and thus intensify. And then for this Caribbean area going to the Gulf, you can see a 70% chance of development, so high chance that we will see something form here, and models are pretty consistent about it. Now, it's not just about the formation, it's not just about tropical storm or potential hurricane. It's about even before that, the precursor, because this is going to be unleashing a lot of heavy rain that has already begun in parts of Jamaica, especially early this morning and even late last night. Some areas got a lot of thunderstorms and heavy rain. That's going to be the trend through the early part of this week, and even for other areas, the Cayman Islands, Central America, even as the system may make its way up, parts of western Cuba could experience a significant increase in rainfall. So we'll be looking at the rain forecast for today, as well as the model runs in terms of where the system could go. And as we switch to the satellite imagery here, we can see what's going on. So we have that disturbance out there, and we can see lots of moisture right now in parts of the central and western Caribbean as well. A couple other spots of some convection here and there, but we're focusing on the Caribbean. So as we zoom in the east, it's not so active. Maybe some scattered showers and thunderstorms for parts of the Lesser Antilles. Nothing crazy. ABC Islands, much not going on. Same thing, Trinidad, Tobago, and even heading up to the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and much of Hispaniola right now. But we can see this huge burst of convection well to the south of Haiti. Now, even in Jamaica, as I mentioned earlier, for eastern parishes especially, there's been some heavy rain and thunderstorms. Let me know in the comments what has happened for you since last night coming into this morning. And then even for the Cayman Islands, there's some moisture around, so there could be some additional showers and thunderstorms throughout today. Overall, this is going to be a very active area as that low pressure center forms in the Western Caribbean and eventually accelerates up to the Gulf. Now let's go ahead and look at the rainfall forecast, and here we can see it. More color means more rain expected. This is what Euro is forecasting. So it's going to be a similar thing for the eastern islands, where there could be those passing showers and maybe a pop-up thunderstorm or so, but nothing too crazy as we head through today. So that would include parts of Puerto Rico. Some areas may actually get some heavy rain in Puerto Rico, but for parts of Puerto Rico, much of the Virgin Islands, and throughout most of the Lesser Antilles, a whole lot of rainfall is not anticipated. There could be some scattered showers and thunderstorms in parts of the ABC Islands, especially for Aruba. We'll see how that goes today. Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana should be a bit on the drier side. It hasn't been very active there, and we could see a bit more action as we head to parts of western Venezuela as well as Colombia. Now, looking towards Jamaica, we can see that much of the islands within that red shading, going to that burgundy shading. So we're going up to 2 inches of rain in some areas. So there could be some pretty substantial downpours today that may result in flooding, especially in areas that have already experienced some downpours and the soil is very saturated. If that is a flood-prone area, there is going to be that heightened risk of flooding today. And then even as we head to Central America, we can see even more vibrant shadings. We see a couple of purple spots popping up, 2.5 inches up to 3-4 inches of rainfall activity possible today. San Andres, Providencia, it is going to get pretty active. So that is all due to that increase in moisture, and what is forming is called a gyre. That is a broad low pressure area, and overall low pressure areas are associated more with stormy weather. So we're going to see these continuous bursts of convection in the Caribbean, and eventually something is going to try and consolidate as it's going to be lifting up towards the Gulf of Mexico. Thereafter, there is so much that is unknown, so many possibilities on the table. But as I said, I'm going to be showing you guys the trends in terms of the models. And then also for the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, parts of Florida, there could be some scattered showers and thunderstorms around. May not be for everywhere though. Let's go ahead and look at the models now. So we're going back to this map, and just in case you're not familiar with it, let me break it down for you. So those black squiggly lines are called isobars, joining areas of equal atmospheric pressure. In terms of development, what we are looking for is those isobars being in a circular manner, and this value here you're seeing, which indicates the minimum central pressure decreasing. As that pressure drops, we're going to see a lot more isobars being concentrated in that circular manner, and that is when we know that the model is expecting intensification at whatever time it is. There's a timer right up there, and then the green shadings you're seeing, that simply indicates the moisture or the rainfall around. So let's go ahead and look at the forecast, and mind you, these are not to say this will be the exact outcome, but we're just looking for the trends here to see what is anticipated. So as for the GFS model, as we're going to be heading into this week, we can see that airflow pressure form as we head into late Monday, go into Tuesday, and the system making its way into the Eastern Gulf. Thereafter, GFS shows that we're going to see quite a bit of intensification from the system, and has what seems to be maybe a major hurricane making landfall along the Florida Panhandle. That is the GFS. Let's move on to the Euro model. Euro is one of our more conservative models, and there is going to be a system forming in the Eastern Pacific, by the way, because you can see those isobars tightly packed over there. This is going to bring a lot of impacts for parts of southwestern Mexico. But as for that system, we can see that Euro is expecting it to gradually develop. We see the pressure dropping, the isobars getting a little bit more concentrated, and Euro has maybe a Cat 1 hurricane making landfall in Florida. So another model expecting that we could see the system eventually make its way to the Sunshine State. And then going on to Icon, the German model, one of the accurate ones out there as well. So let's go ahead and see what it is showing. There is also showing that system forming within the vicinity of Central America, two systems actually, while that other broad low pressure area lifts up north. Now Icon shows something very interesting. It has it loitering in the Gulf, making a little turn to the east and intensifying quickly as it heads towards Florida. So here you see this consistent trend of models expecting that, hey, this could make landfall in Florida. But as I said, these are not solid. These are forecasts, and even though yes, we're seeing a consistent trend, let's see if this holds over the coming days, because we don't even have an airflow pressure to really be talking about. So until we have that airflow pressure actually form, and even a tropical depression eventually come of this as we head maybe into the middle of or the latter part of this week, then we're going to see some changes. It's going to be pretty likely, because what we're seeing now doesn't necessarily guarantee an outcome. But for right now, the models are definitely favoring an eventual hurricane be coming off the system. So once the environment is conducive, there are already those very warm waters, a lot of energy there. So once other environmental conditions, those upper level winds are favorable, and we've got lots of moisture in the mid and low levels of the atmosphere, coupled with limited land interaction, then we could definitely see something become of this, something pretty impactful. So what I will say is that the Gulf Coast, the entire Gulf Coast needs to be on watch for this system. It's not to say you're going to get hit, but it's just to say be alert. It could potentially impact you, who knows. And also, as for the Caribbean, as I mentioned, areas such as Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, Central America, there is going to be a lot of rain. So the precursor to whatever is going to form is unleashing a lot of heavy rain already, and that trend is going to continue throughout today. So if you should encounter any flooded roadways, please do not attempt to cross, turn around, don't drown. I'm so happy that today's not a day for school, because I mean, so many kids travel every single day during the week to and from school. So I'm really happy that that won't be the case. Although even tomorrow, just the same, there could be a lot of heavy rain. So you know, while you're helping out your kids today to get ready for the new school week, it's good to ensure that they have their raincoat, their umbrellas, you know, just to be prepared for the adverse weather that is being experienced within the vicinity of the area right now, guys. But I'm here to keep you posted as per usual, and that is it for this update video. And I do hope you found it to be informative. However, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll respond to you when I can, and remember to always be weatherwise.